Hola guys, KSLT here and welcome to The Monster Inside, an audio-visual novella by Random Seed Games. Now, an audio-visual novella obviously means there's a lot of reading involved with very minimal interactions within this quote-unquote game. So let's just get right to it. My head pounded. Ears still ringing slightly. Some of the worst nightmares I'd had in years left me feeling like I've been punched in the jaw. But just like any other day, I dragged myself to the office. Seems legit. Alright. There's another notice on the door from Mayor Benitez' office. Permits out of date. They didn't like me much and were trying to drown me in paperwork. It was a slow month, weeks since I had any real case to work on, so I passed the time pacing the office, smoking and staring at the mirror in the corner, safely covered with an old bedsheet. I don't dare look at my own reflection. I'm too afraid of what I might see. Afraid someday I might have to face what I really am. The girl came in so quiet I nearly choked on my cigarette. How does that happen? Mister, please, you gotta help me, mister. Oh, well, I can't really change my voice too much. Calm down now and sit and talk slow. So I'm just good with that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to intrude. It's alright. Sit down and tell me your tale. She eyed me with just a dash of suspicion as I tossed back a handful of pills and chased them with a swig of whiskey. I could tell this might take a while. Well, you didn't have to drink. Her name was Lily. She told me she was his mistress. The man all over the newspapers. The infamous banker, Mr. Reginald Farnsworth. Mr. Farnsworth was a drunk, philandering bastard, but this girl seemed genuinely concerned that he had recently gone missing. Less concerned about the fact that Mr. Farnsworth's wife had just turned up dead in Central Park 2 nights ago. You don't understand. He could have just done it. He hated his wife. He couldn't have killed her. Everyone thinks it was him, and no one believes him. He's gotta be in trouble. I ain't saying I believe you, but what makes you think he's in danger? Well, Mr. Jack. You can just call me Jack. Alright. Jack. Whoever did that to his wife must have been the one who took him. He would have never left without me. He promised me. It's a funny thing about that. Mr. Farnsworth promised this poor girl a lot of things. Please, the cops won't listen to me and they want to bring him in on charges. You gotta prove it wasn't him before they find him. Honestly, I doubt they're in too much of a hurry. Farnsworth had practically the entire police force in his deep pockets, probably why they hadn't found much yet. If they found him and brought him in, it would be due to public pressure. Sometimes a mob with pitchforks is more dangerous than one man with money. Okay, you've got my curiosity, but you might not like what I find. I like that one better. Oh, thank you, Mr. Jack. Thank you. But please, be careful. I don't think this was any murderer or kidnapper. I think it was a beast. The word struck me funny, like when you jar your elbow on a hard corner. Not a word many use these days, except in hushed whispers and bedtime stories for children. Oh, they were real enough, alright. They just got better at hiding, controlling their unseemly urges. But I hadn't seen any monsters in nearly 15 years, back when I was still a cop myself. Let's see. Well, that's definitely an interesting theory. I just have a feeling about it. Something tells me you can get to the bottom of it. You're good at this sort of thing. Well, not to toot my own horn. Sure, can't you see how busy I am with cases? I replied a little too harshly. Sarcasm wasn't my strong suit. I reassured her some more and sent her on her way. I didn't want want to scare her, but I warned her before she left to keep her doors locked and call me if she saw anything suspicious. I don't know if she was in any danger herself, but better safe than sorry. That night I made my way down to Central Park. It was a long shot, but there was something there the cops had missed. Next chapter! The scene was already picked clean by the cops days ago, but I've got a knack for finding the things others overlook. Whoa. A knack. More of a symptom of a condition. Other, less useful symptoms I kept in check. But for the time being, my keen sense of smell would come in handy. It sounds like a dog. We're just gonna ignore that. It was faint, but I could smell it before I even approached the police line. The scent was less of a thing, and more of an emotion. Seduction. A strangely familiar smell. I expected the scent of a trepidation? Ah, jeez, I can't. Alright, I'm restarting. I expected the scent of a trepidation, or maybe even outright fear, but Mrs. Farnsworth seemed to have been at the height of pleasure when she left this world. Wow. Brought new meaning to a crime of passion. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Oh gosh. Pushing the thought from my mind, it was time to get down to business. Investigate the scene. Okay. Oh, it's telling me what to do. Sorry. Muddy footprints everywhere. Difficult to pick out anything from the prints cops left behind in their haste. Alright, the cops don't wear $2,000 pairs of carquinos, whatever that is. Looked like Mr. Farnsworth was there that night and walked away with his own 2 feet. That's odd. It's not gonna let me. A burn mark on a nearby tree caught my eye. I ran my finger along its length and felt a chill down my spine. Why would you touch evidence? Stop touching the evidence! This wasn't any burn mark. This was the mark of an ancient magic. It's doubtful the cops would have picked up on it. Could Lily have been right? Something unnatural was at play here. But I was no stranger to the strange. Ooh. After looking around for a while longer, I realized the park had given up all it was hiding from me. So I trudged back to my apartment and my head hit my pillow like it owed me money. That was great. I love the wording of this. The next morning I was reeling from another bout of ghoulish nightmares, but I tried to hide my discomfort when I saw Lily was already sitting outside my office. Dang, she's persistent. She waited wordlessly as I unlocked the door and ripped down another notice from the mayor's office. I mentioned for her to step inside. Seemingly afraid of what I might say, she finally worked up the courage to ask. So, what'd you find? Well, I've got some good news. Farnsworth might still be alive. Let's see. Which one? Let's reassure her. It's better to do that. Ah, come on. I probably shouldn't have given her false hope like that, but she seemed like she needed something to hold on to right then. She didn't need to know about the mark on the tree. How do you know that? Where is he? Let's see. Well, I guess we'll go with that. My tone was indifferent towards her as I turned and grabbed a bottle from my desk drawer. The dryness in my throat made it difficult to swallow my meds. But you don't know where he went? Do you think the news this morning is related? What news is that? You're a detective. You're supposed to watch anything that might be useful, especially in the news, I guess. Haven't you heard? A rough night followed by a rough morning. Yeah, but maybe you should tell me what you know. Sure. They found the police chief's wife dead down by the docks. Say it happened last night. Let me guess, Chief Amato is missing too. My face might have betrayed a hint of satisfaction as she confirmed my suspicions, but it faded quickly. Amato was a shit cop and a shit chief. Damn. He was half the reason I left the force, but now his wife was dead and I had more questions than I did the day before. The gears in my head started to spin, which wasn't helped by the splitting pain in my temples. I told Lily I needed time to work, and she left slightly dejected, wanting more answers than I could provide. Yeah, I know the feeling. That night, after the cops had cleared out of the docks, I would slip down and see what I could uncover concerning Miss Amato's untimely demise. Oh, hey. We're already in chapter 3? We completed chapter 3. What? The cold air smells strongly of salt and oil and... Could it be? That smell again. Like someone had bottled pure arousal and used it as perfume. It hit me like a long forgotten memory, but the sensual fumes soon caved to a rush of adrenaline. I knew exactly what the scent reminded me of, and that scared me more than not knowing. I would rather. I looked down at my hand, shaking. The nightmares, the headaches. Nope, I was better now, reformed. I had to focus, no jumping to conclusion. Follow the evidence. So go there. Red Phoenix cigarettes. Same shitty brand I smoke every day. Everyone's got their vice. So it really just lets me pick. Sort of. Not really. There. Just there. The smallest piece of purple fabric, torn and caught in the splinter of a board. A police report didn't say anything about Mrs. Amato wearing purple. It was certainly of a quality that you wouldn't expect down here. Don't see too many high society types around flaunting royal purple threads. I pulled out my own pack of threads and lit up. I could already feel another headache coming on, but looking out over the waves seemed to help me forget. The cold helped me push down the uncomfortable thoughts that had been bubbling in the top of my brain. Oh, we already completed chapter 4. Alright. I honestly don't remember the walk back to the office. Apparently I spent the night in my easy chair. The air from the docks lingered on my clothes. Yeah, I can see that. It was still dark out. No, I checked the clock. How long had I been out? Had I really slept through the entire next day? The newspaper was sitting under the door. As I stood to fetch it, I nearly fell over. A wave of nausea hit me like a ton of bricks. I steadied myself and regained my composure. Before I even picked up the paper, I could already read the headline. Breaking. Mayor missing, wife found dead. 2 cases is a coincidence, 3 is a pattern. The cops would come asking questions soon. They knew I had a history of antagonizing all the victims. I stumbled to my desk and slammed back 3 days worth of inhibitor pills. I couldn't take any chances. I had to investigate the scene to be sure. What is this? There's this... I don't even, like... So he had beef with, like, all of them? No, ew, it's terrible. I mean, look, maybe someone's after him. I don't know. But I love this scene. Like, the chill, just the music, it's great. Anyway, I threw my jacket and went to the door. Lily caught me off guard on the other side. Jack, where are you off to? I've been trying to reach you all day. So I'll just go to that. Okay, but we need to talk when you get back. Stay safe. See, when someone tells you stay safe or anything remotely, like caring, just keep that person. Alright, don't let them go. She gave me a soft kiss on the cheek as I rushed off. Part of me wanted to stay and tell her it would be okay, but it would be a lie. Next chapter. How many chapters does this have? I'm just curious. The alley was located just behind the high-rise apartments where Mayor Benetti and his wife lived. I could tell the police were spooked now. The crime scene was even sloppier than the last. They hadn't even bothered to submit the trash into evidence. So going through there first. Why wouldn't they at least look through the dumpster? It seemed untouched. No one wants to do the dirty work. But I know how to find the good stuff. It doesn't really take long if you know what to look for. Lightweight bags usually mean someone was dumping documents. If you were lucky, they didn't bother to shred them. Jackpot. Shell companies, shady stock trades, bribes. I knew Mayor Vanetti was crooked, but this was unbelievable. And then there was more. Letters between Mayor Vanetti and Chief Amato talking about me. How are they trying to get me shut down? They didn't like me snooping around crime scenes all the time. Well, they weren't here to stop me snooping around this one. Yeah, because they're dead. Vanetti's car. If he's still alive, why wouldn't he have left in his car? It didn't make any sense. I honestly wasn't too motivated to find out, but the stakes were too high, and my bet was edging towards the unthinkable. As I searched around for anything that might assuage my fears, I caught the scent again. It overwhelmed my other senses in undulating pleasure. It was intoxicating, a weapon used on the weak-willed, a weapon I knew all too well, though it had been many years since I had used it. Was there another like me? Was I being framed? Was it? It wasn't possible. Was it? I was taking my inhibitors. I was reformed, but the nightmares, the headaches, the memory lapses. I couldn't even trust myself. I started walking back out the alley when something shiny caught my eye. A watch. Not just any watch, though. My watch. How long had my wrist been bare? Surely I dropped it when I first came down the alley. I checked the time just before I left the office, didn't I? Or had I used the wall clock? I couldn't be sure. I couldn't be sure of anything. So I ran. Oh, it's getting good! I like this! This is great! I love this. I don't know why I ran back to the office. The cops would probably show up any minute to knock the door down and cart me away. They would put it together before long. Maybe it would be best for everyone if I simply faced my own reflection. But Lily was still there waiting for me. Jack, what's wrong? Look like you've seen a ghost. My own ghost. Come back to haunt me from the past. You're not making any sense, Jack. Come sit down. You don't understand. You're not safe around me. I took a good last look at her as I prepared to shove her out of the door. I noticed she was wearing the same thing she had when she first came to my office 3 days ago. A beautiful purple dress. Odd that I hadn't really noticed before, but it made her seem out of place, out of time. And it was frayed around the edges, torn in places. My chair caught my fall as my knees failed me. It was you. You're the monster, succubus. Oh, Jack. We are one and the same, you and I. We are both monsters. I'm simply more honest with myself. There's no such thing as reformation. Those pills you take only make you dull. Beasts like us should never suppress our true natures as you have, Incubus. These men were probably dead too, now I figured. She probably took them to her lair and harvested their seed. So, you've done all this just to wake me up? You could say that. Though it seemed enough to just have you doubt yourself. You believe you are still capable of such horrors, which means deep down you probably are. You can't escape it. Now I need you to complete the deed. You took my watch. Messed with my head. Oh, don't act like I didn't do you a favor. Those men hated you and wanted you gone. Now they are gone. I mustered the strength to stand again, moving casually to the wood note by the corner. She was right about one thing. I was dull, weak compared to her. If I refused her and she attacked me, I was a dead man. I had to keep her talking. I never met a succubus who seduces and kills women. Oh please, such a 14th century stereotype. I don't discriminate when it comes to pleasures of the flesh. But I do still need an incubus like yourself to take the dainted seed I've harvested from all those awful men and planted it among the fertile masses for me. I'm tired of draining my lovers just to survive. I'm ready to settle down and start a family. Jeez, she's crazy. She is crazy. That maniacal laughter. I positioned myself carefully, making sure she was looking my direction. Sorry, but I'm not your guy. With a quick flick of my wrist, I whipped the old bedsheet off the corner mirror. Lily was blinded by her own reflection and sucked into the mirror with a painful, monstrous scream. Trapped. Shielding my own eyes, I pulled a revolver from my desk side and aimed at the mirror. Whoa, and fired. Oh my gosh! Silence. Oh! Ah! I loved it! That was great! More time for 8. That's cool. I will check those games out actually. Because this one was great. I love the story. Maybe just because I love reading. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed that video. I know it was a lot of reading, but I still had fun reading it. It was actually a really good story. I just actually wish it was longer. And there was like some sort of sequel or little series of it. I would have loved to see that. But anyway, if you guys liked this video, hit that like button, leave a comment, share with your friends. Anything helps. If you want to see more of this or get notified when I start streaming, which will start this week, woo, hit that subscribe. Other than that, I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye.